Hello, welcome to More Faith with Kisha. My first name is Kisha and my last name is Moore. And on this channel, we talk all things, most things, faith. I love to give my faith testimonies to motivate, inspire, and to encourage you to keep the faith in your dreams, your goals, your aspirations, and whatever it is that God put on your heart to keep the faith in. So today, I want to talk about being a good steward over your finances. I talked about this in another video, but I just wanted to elaborate on some things that I've learned throughout my 43 years of living about being a good steward over my finances and some things that have helped me. So just recently, these past few years, I've been learning how to save more, how to invest, not being a compulsive spender. I'm one of those people, like, I love a good deal. It was hard for me to pass up a good deal. And if I saw like a shirt and it was on clearance and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's a good deal, and they have like 5 colors, I was a person that would buy like all 5 colors. So yeah, I wasn't really good with my money, with my finances. Like I mentioned before, I would always have a little cushion, a little money saved in case of an emergency, like if something happened with my car. And I always made sure my bills were saved, but I felt like I could do more and I could be better or whatever with my finances. So I've been doing really good these past few months, this past year, just making some changes. So I want to talk about, like, what do you do when you receive unexpected money? Unexpected checks in the mail. Maybe you get a raise or whatever it is with your job and your finances increase. Is that an opportunity for you to spend more? Is that an opportunity for you to splurge? I would say no, it is not. So just recently, let me start with this. So the beginning of the month, I always make a list of all the bills that I have for the month. So I write down everything, even from like the household items, hygiene items, how much gas do I need, food. I literally have an itemized list of everything that I will have to spend or pay as far as bills for the month. And so last month, I would say I received an email. And in the email from a company, they're like, yeah, we sent you a check a few months ago and you have this amount of time to cash the check. And I'm like, wait, y'all sent me a check? So I started looking for the check. And I actually found the check. So this whole time I have a check and it was like some hundreds of dollars. It wasn't like 1,000, but it was like some hundreds of dollars. And I had this check and I didn't even realize it. And that could have been an opportunity for me to say, you know what? I've been doing so good with my money. I've been saving. I've been paying my bills on time. I've been investing. I've been doing all these things. But no, I did not do that. What I did, some of the money that I had set aside for bills pertaining to like my businesses, like the LLCs, registration things that I have to pay every year, I saved that money and I used the money from the check to pay those bills. And I just put the extra money that I was going to use to pay the bills, I put it in my savings account. So being a good steward over your finances is basically paying things on time, saving, planning for vacations. If there's something particular that you want to buy, save for it. You don't have to spend all your money every time you get it. That's a part of being a good steward over your finances. Like, if God can trust you with the little, he can trust you with much. I know sometimes people feel like, well, if I had more money, then I would do all these things, but I don't make enough. Or if God bless me with more, then he knows he can trust me. If he cannot trust you with little, he cannot trust you with much. So sometimes it's those little things that can test where you are with your finances. Like I said, when I got that check back in the day, I would have been like, oh shoot, I got some extra money. It's time for me to book a vacation or let me go shopping. But like, no, God showed me it is time for you to mature in the area of your finances and be a good steward over your finances. Stop spending everything you get. And then, you know, the next week or the next month, like you don't have enough to cover your bills. Like those are the things that I used to do, not to that level where I couldn't pay my bills, but to a certain extent where it was like basically you still living from paycheck to paycheck. Like God had to groom me and work on me in that area. So I just want to encourage you to just go a little harder when it comes to saving. Go a little harder when it comes to budgeting. Know where every dollar is going before you get paid. Like, you know how much you make an hour. If you make commission, you know an average of how much you're going to get with your commission. And just take the time at the beginning of every month, write down a list of all your bills. Everything matters, even if it's toothpaste, whatever it is, anything that you need, just write it down. And after writing down that list, if you feel like, if you're like, you know what, I don't have enough to cover my bills. Sometimes it just requires you to shift careers and just shift into a different direction so that you can be in a career where you're compensated enough so that you can pay your bills. Sometimes I get it because I've been there. It's like you're doing all that you can, you've done all that you can, and it's just not enough. So I would say if you're in a situation like that, that means it's time for you to shift and pivot. Don't be afraid to pivot to something different, even if it's a totally new career. I went from working in a call center, selling protection agreements for appliances for Sears for 7 years, and I was able to support myself for those 7 years. But sometimes, you know, the cost of living, things change, and companies, they don't want to give you a raise. I pivoted from selling protection agreements to selling home insurance policies. And that changed my income drastically, almost tripled my income. So sometimes you just have to shift into something different. But don't be hard on yourself. If you feel like you haven't did it all right and you've made mistakes, I've been there, I've made mistakes, and I don't have it all together, or, you know, I'm still in the process of getting everything together. But you have to start with where you are. So start with where you are. Be a good steward over your finances, over the little, so God can give you much, and just stay on it. Oh, and then also there's 2 people that I listen to or watch on YouTube that has helped me so much when it comes to finances. One person, his name is Anthony O'Neill, and then the other person, her name is Tiffany Aleche, aka the Budgetnista. Those 2 influencers have changed my life so much when it comes to finances. Like, I've learned so much from watching them, hearing their stories, and just putting into practice some of the things that they recommend. And also Dave Ramsey. All right, so stay blessed, stay positive, don't give up. Bye.